Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Tianshi Club. How are you all doing today? Monkey-san. Hello Eduardo, welcome. You know, what's up? Hello Shatter, welcome. So, today, I thought we could do some just chatting as a bit of a, as it says in the title, as a bit of an after party for our 2 years celebration, cause I know it's kind of weird to have your after party 2 days later. Not typical, but I still can't get over the fact that it's been 2 years, and it's also been a little while since we had a just chatting stream. So I thought it'd be nice to chat a bit longer. So what are all of you up to today? Today Monkey was inspired to make some milk tea because last stream we were talking about milk tea and Monkey's had it on my mind for a long time recently. So I decided, why not? Let's drink some milk tea today. It's good stuff. Monkey still needs to dial in the best way to make milk tea. Monkey's so spoiled. Usually Monkey doesn't need to make everything by myself for milk tea, so Monkey's spoiled. But it's not bad, I think I need to change. If I were to guess, I would probably add a bit more of the actual tea. Maybe a bit more sugar. I wonder if we could use some salt. I'm not sure. Probably not necessary, but things I'm thinking about. 2 years of Monkey. Here's to many more. Many more, I hope. Thank you. I know, been digging into some weird comic book history. Sounds like fun, and hello Mongoose, welcome! Good to see you. Might need a corkboard for this. Oh, what kind of weird comic book history? That sounds really interesting. So now, on a scale of 10 to 1. Oh, how monkey are you today? Hello A-Fox, welcome. I'd have to say, I am monkey. I am monkey. Hello, how are you today? Hello, Hinky, welcome. Good to see you. Hope your day's been amazing. Oh, you too, Hinky, you too. It's been a pretty good day, I think, so far. Pretty good. And if anything has made it not a bonk to them. It's been pretty good, luckily. No bonking necessary yet, I suppose. I've discovered a new band. Oh, and I've been listening to them. Oh, what kind of band, Shatter? More metal music? Speaking of metal music, that metal album that came out with the game attached came out with a new song recently, I hear. Bridget came out with Bridget. She's very cute. Okay, so you must have heard of Superman. How about Captain Marvel or Shazam, as they call him now? Oh, I thought Captain Marvel was the how you say the blonde superhero in Avengers. Is her name not Captain Marvel? Maybe it's something else. Shazam, I think I've heard of. He's got a lightning bolt or something? I don't know much about him. What kind of music does Monkey like? Oh, that's a good question. Monkey's never been very good at keeping track of genres. So I can't say for sure, and I'm gradually learning the names of the genres of things that I like. But I know I like light rock. I like pop rock, I guess. I like most of the standard kinds of rock. So I like light rock, pop rock. I like some classic rock and rock and roll and a little bit of punk rock, I think. Rock. I'm not so good at remembering all the subgenres. I also like some amount of jazz. I like some amount of jazz, and I don't know what they call it, the sort of ballady sort of rock, or I don't know if it was rock, the ballady sort of music. Monkey really likes voices. Voices are probably Monkey's favorite instrument. When it comes to any sort of song, Monkey focuses in on the voices the most. Doesn't not necessarily have to be beautiful voices, but I don't know, it's what Monkey pays attention to. I've learned that I like country, and pop country, and country rock, and I like, someone recently showed me a playlist called Americana, I think, Americana, and that was pretty good, so I think I like that. Let's see, I like to sing opera. Actually, I like to listen to opera too, but mostly in the context of the opera itself. I guess that's the same for musicals. Musicals are a style of music, right? Monkey used to like some Chinese pop and some. I like enka. Oh, I recently learned I like city pop. I did not know this. I recently learned. I didn't know the genre too well, but when I started listening to a playlist of it, I decided, oh yes, this is good. This is good stuff. I like that. So city pop, I suppose. What else has Monkey recently learned that I like? I don't know. I need to know. I need to know more names of things before I know what I like. I probably like R&B and blues, that kind of stuff as well. I like choir musics and yeah. When it comes to metal, very rock adjacent, right? When it comes to metal, I think I kind of prefer. I don't know if you call it pop metal, but like kind of like baby metal style, you know? And I guess the playlist during streams gives you a little bit of an idea of some of the music Monkey likes. But it's not my typical music because I chose it as background music. So no vocals or anything, you know? But I like the stuff in there. I don't really listen to it on my own time, but I like it as background music. So maybe if it had vocals, Monkey would listen to it on my own time. Okay, that was a long explanation of something that Monkey doesn't actually have a good answer to, but looks like I'm behind already. Let me try to catch up. Today I've mainly been playing Minecraft. Or more accurately, I modded my PS5 and managed to play the 2015 console version for some nice nostalgia. Been playing and I got a nice treehouse and cute dog. Oh! I did not understand any of the technical portion of that. You boss. I apologize. But I understand you've been playing Minecraft, and you got a treehouse and a cute dog. And it's nostalgic. That sounds really nice. I didn't know they had dogs in Minecraft. Oh. And I've certainly never tried to build a treehouse. That sounds like fun. It's another metal band, yes. Oh. I see. They're called Fellowship. Oh, it's very uplifting. I like it a lot. Ah, I see. Oh, speaking of uplifting metal, I liked... Someone showed me a little bit of what's called, I think, orchestral metal or something like that. I thought it was pretty cool. I think Shazam used to be called Captain Marvel, but since Marvel Comics became a thing, they had renamed. Ah, I see. Ah, hey Hiki, you know about comic book history too then, I see. Oh, that makes sense. I will play the most recent patch of the game, but the game has too much content that gets updated every month and is just too complex. Oh! And plus, the content creators and community has only gotten worse. Really? I'm sorry to hear that, Avox. I don't know much about it because I haven't been in the Minecraft space. Is it that you can't play if you don't get the game patches? Oh. I'm surprised to hear you say there's too much content. Usually I thought with this sort of open world kind of game, I guess it's more of a sandbox, but it's a little bit open world, right? It's a little bit... I thought people want the more content the better. But I'm guessing the content is too confusing? Like, makes it feel like you have to do too many things? I wonder. I haven't played in a really, really long time. Rocking monkey. Rock is one of the very few genres that I learned the name of early on, which is why I can say, yes, I like rock. But then I learned that inside of rock, there are a lot of different kinds of subgenres, and then I went, oh no. Like, do I like alternative rock? What's alternative rock? I might like it, I don't know. I have no idea. But I know that some of the music that I like falls under the genre of rock. So originally, Shazam was Captain Marvel of Fawcett Comics. Ah. In 1956, the court ruled he was basically Magic Superman in red, and DC won ownership. What? What? No way! They could do that? Whoa. I guess the idea of a superhero was really new back then, huh? Nowadays, I don't think you'd be able to win a court case on IP stealing based on a Superman-style character with magic powers. Oh, interesting. Changed his name to avoid confusion. Oh! Wait, a character... You're telling me a character moved from Fawcett Comics to DC due to a legal battle. Oh, they just took the character. Wow. That's a little... Wow. Huh. Oh my. Monkey seems to like a monkey into classic rock and blues. I think so, huh? I think so. I have heard these terms in relation to music that sounded pretty good to me. I think. When you have a lot of siblings, sometimes you get used to someone else always turning on the music. and then you have no idea what you like or what you don't like because you're never in control and you just let it happen. Okay, maybe that's just me. And it's not just my siblings. All of my mamas and papas too had their own favorite music, so I listen to that. My monkey has to find music on my own. It's very difficult. son? You know Black Flag or the Dead Kennedy? I don't think so. I think those names are familiar. I might know them. You know, sometimes Monkey knows people and I don't know that I know people. Because like I said, Monkey's never really paid attention to what I was listening to. So if I know the chorus, if I know the chorus line, I might be able to say, oh, I know that song. But artists are a bit harder for Monkey to pin down. Monkey doesn't often look at the artist name of the songs that I listen to. And I realize I need to start doing that. I've been trying to do that more for music and for books as well. Monkey used to just read books and not worry about the author. So I should probably start doing that a little bit more, but I might have heard of these people at least. During this time, a British company was reprinting the Captain Marvel stories when they stopped. Oh! So this company made Marvel Man. Oh. And Marvel Comics came along. So he is now Miracle Man. Wow! Wow! Oh! And Miracle Man is okay? That's interesting. Wow! There's a lot of branching going on here. Oh. City Pop is lovely. It is, right? It is. I hadn't realized, but it's pretty good. Agreed. I like tribal drums. What kind of tribal drums? I feel like every tribe of humans in history has had drums. As far as I can tell, humans really like drums. I can see why. They're quite nice, honestly. Monkey's favorite drums right now are Japanese taiko drums because not necessarily that Monkey listens to taiko music on its own, but they remind me of festivals, and I like hearing them at festivals and stuff like that. Monkey tried playing drums for a little while, but Monkey has no sense of rhythm. It wasn't a good choice for Monkey. Maybe if I practice more. Marvel's captain was originally an alien called Marvel. Oh. Carol Danvers saved him from a crashed ship and became Ms. Marvel because of radiation. Is that the one from Avengers? Ms. Marvel? Oh. She took up his mantle after he died in the comics. Okay, so she became Captain Marvel. That sounds familiar from the movies. This sort of alien thing sounds familiar. Carol Danvers sounds familiar. It sounds like from the movies, is that right? Rather, the movies are one of the more recent takes on this character. So Marvel's Captain Marvel. Marvel's Captain Marvel. But DC? So DC got the first Captain Marvel and renamed him Shazam. And then Marvel made the British company change Marvel Man into Miracle Man. Or not made them, but because Marvel came along, then Marvel Man, who used to be Captain Marvel, became Miracle Man. And then Marvel created their own Captain Marvel after that? Like a completely separate lineage? Oh. latter did give me the vibes of someone who listens to metal. Oh, is that so, Fox? Oh, now Monkey's curious. What's the prototype of the metal listeners? It tends to be quite a nerdy genre, so it does make sense. Ah, makes sense. Yeah, as far as I can tell, metal can be extremely calculated, right? I know that it's not the same, but I remember hearing about metal and math rock in the same breath once. I don't know. I think maybe because of overlapping culture. I didn't read much comics, but I would leave in background someone telling me the stories. Guess I like audiobooks or something. Oh, I see. That's really cool. Oh, that's really nice. I hadn't realized that existed. That sounds like fun. Monkey used to listen to audiobooks as a baby monkey. I haven't really nowadays, which is funny because they've become more and more accessible over time. But for some reason, I haven't listened to too many. At Mongoose, just to step in, he was Marvel, not Marvel. Muha-ai, welcome, good to see you. Marvel. Oh, I see. At Muha-ai. Oh, you're right. Sorry, been a while since I remembered the story. Makes sense. Sounds like an easy mistake to make. But also, thank you for the correction, Muha-ai. Subgenres. The next step of proving your geekiness. Oh, is that so? I guess that makes sense, huh? How deep does it go? Like if you're learning Japanese language. Oh, you like Japanese, huh? What dialect do you speak? Oh, you like rock? What kind? You like comics? Marvel, DC, indie? I see. That makes sense. Maybe that's why Monkey's head's always spinning. I'm never quite sure. It never ends, does it? It's just an endless rabbit hole. You can always dig deeper. For me, lots of the features they add now are unnecessary. And unlike other survival games like Terraria or my personal favorite Don't Starve, they don't improve the main game, but just bloat the game. Like make the game load slower and have just too much distraction? Oh, I see. I hadn't thought about it, but Minecraft is a survival game, isn't it? Monkey's only ever played Minecraft in creative mode, so for me it's always just been a sandbox. It was a different time. It's kind of like how in the old days, companies like Hasbro could make their Transformers specific vehicles like Volkswagens and Porsches without concerning themselves with trademark. Really? Wow! I did not know that. Oh, that does sound like a different time. Can we go back to those times? Trademark's scary. It makes sense though. It makes sense. It's just also scary. For some reason, it strikes me that Nao might enjoy Vaporwave or Lo-Fi. I have listened to some Vaporwave and Lo-Fi. I've definitely listened to some. I would say I don't know how I feel about the genres in general, because the majority of vaporwave and lo-fi don't have any singing, or if they do have singing, it's just sampled. And sometimes the samples, Monkey's not so into like sampled vocals over like, I don't know what you call it, non-sample vocals. But I do remember lo-fi is nice because it's, as they say, chill beats you can relax to. So sort of as background music, it can be nice. I don't know if I would choose to listen to it or not, but I think it's generally pretty nice. And vaporwave specifically, I don't know about where the genre is now, but I think original vaporwave I liked. The type of music that sounded like elevator music. Monkey actually really likes elevator music. I know it gets a bad rap, but Monkey likes it. When I get into an elevator, no elevators these days tend to have elevator music, right? It's very sad. But when I get into an elevator that does have elevator music, I'm always so happy. I'm like, oh, this is nice. This is nice. So I liked original vaporwave that really tried to capture that feeling of elevator music. Modern day vaporwave, I feel like, has become a lot more synthy and sort of abstract and how do you say? Kind of surrealist is the feeling I get. A little more impressionistic. And listening too much to music that gets too impressionistic sometimes makes Monkey's brain stop working. Like, it basically unties all the knots and then sets all the gears kind of funny. And then it's like the gears are spinning but nothing is happening, and Monkey just completely loses my ability to think properly. So that kind of music I can't listen to for too long. But what I'm thinking about may not be so much vaporwave as like... I can't remember if it's called synthwave or if it's just related to certain types of electronic music in general. But original vaporwave I remember liking. Let's see. Captain Marvel of Fawcett was fooled too similar. Oh, he did look like Soups in a red suit, and his secret identity worked for a newspaper. Ah, and his nemesis was a bald scientist mastermind. Oh, I see. It started to bridge that line of, you know, reference and, how you say, what is it called when you're calling back to something else? I forget now. It was on the tip of my tongue. A sort of... It was not, like, intentionally Superman referencing. It was more like, kinda just Superman. More like a fan comic? Like fan... What are they called? Fan... art... fan... writing... fan fiction. More like fan fiction than a whole new character. I could see that. It's really a difficult line, so I can see why that one might have to go to court then. You gotta get the feeling of, well, does this feel like the same character? Does it feel that close? Or does it feel like it's just taking elements and referencing back? Monkey hasn't read a lot of Western comics, and I also haven't watched too many Western superhero media, so I don't know too much about things like Superman and stuff, but it makes sense, There's characters these days that definitely intentionally parody other characters like Superman and Batman, the like, how you say, the famous ones, right? But they usually clearly parody them, you know, not not straight up fan fiction. Parody's more accepted. He is very chill monkey after all that. Very chill monkey. I don't know about that. I don't know if I feel very chill or not, but if so, that's good, I guess. Just any simple drum music, really. Ah, I see. So like drums alone? Simple, huh? What about drum lines? Monkey really got into drumline for a little while. Cause one of my siblings was in drumline. And so I ended up going to a lot of their performances. It was really cool actually. Though mostly I liked the ones where they used not the xylophone, I think they just call it bells, the metal xylophones. I like a little bit of melody. I know that drumline comes from the Western drum tradition, and I know a little bit about taiko, but actually everywhere in between I don't know too much about. So I'd love to know more. I know that basically everywhere had drums, you know? In terms of Chinese drums, I know what they use for like Chinese opera. Well, I don't know much about them, but I know they use them for Chinese opera. And there's a tung 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 tung. I guess that's mostly the gongs. But I know a little bit about that. But other than that, I don't know much. And especially about drum-only music. Nowadays, you don't get a lot of that outside of taiko and maybe drum lines. At least where I'm at, where I've lived. So I'm really curious actually. That sounds pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of how in Japan, the superhero Kamen Rider's first enemies have names that translate to Spider-Man and Batman. No way! No way! Wait, that's so good! That's so good! I had no idea! We do have a... what is it called? Tokusatsu fan in our tea club. At least we have a few, I think, but we have at least one here today who might be able to corroborate. I don't know if you ever watched... Who's watched Kamen Rider? I haven't watched a lot of Super Sentai or Tokusatsu or that kind of genre, but looks like fun. Spider-Man, Batman. Oh. It reminds me also of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Everyone's stands are named after music, right? Various music stuff, which is really cool. But in the US, I guess that's my guess. It's for the US. It could be for the Western market in general. But the English translation, they don't actually use the Japanese names for those various bands, because I think probably because of trademark or copyright of some sort. I'm assuming in the US, but actually come to think of it, in the EU, the copyright laws between the US and the EU tend to be similar. I just think that the US is more strict. I don't know. And a lot of the artists tend to be US artists. I'm trying to think of a good example, because I haven't watched much JoJo's, just an episode or two here or there when my brother was watching it. But, let me think. Well, it's really funny because you hear them say, if you're listening to the Japanese audio, you hear them say the name of the stand and of their moves sometimes, and you're like, oh! But then you read the subtitles, and you're like, oh, that's different. Oh, I have an example. What's his name? I want to say from Golden Wind, the young one with the airplane stand. What's his name? Ma, me. I think it starts with an M. But his stand in Japanese is called Aerosmith, I believe, because it's an airplane. But in English, they call it Little Bomber. Who else? Who else can Monkey remember? That's the one that I remember the most because it's an airplane. Pour a little more tea. It's pretty good, actually. TBH, I just wanted to play something simple today. Not to bring down the mood too much, but a family member who is really close to me may not have long left to live, so I just wanted to just chill today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, A-Fox. Oh, I send lots of monkey blessings towards you and your family member. I know it's a hard time, so I won't say necessarily I hope you feel better soon, but I send you lots of monkey strength to get through these tough times, and I hope that you and your loved one have a lot of good time together, whether or not it's for a short while longer or, you know, maybe for a long time longer. It could still happen, but either way, lots of love and strength to both of you. But I'm looking forward to playing Cult of the Lamb. Oh, is that coming out? Is that about to come out? The Cult of the Lamb tomorrow. Ah, I have been really looking forward to it. Yeah, I remember. It's so cute, right? And I've only heard good things so far of the reviews of the pre-release version. I hope it's a good game for you. I hope you love it. It's so cute. I'm watching House of 1000 Corpses. Does Monkey-san watch horror movies? Oh, is that a horror movie? No. I don't tend to watch horror movies. I'm just not really into the genre. I guess Monkey doesn't like being scared. Monkey doesn't like being scared, and I also don't really like the visceral feeling I get from things like gore and that sort of thing. When my family is like gutting fish in the kitchen, I usually have to excuse myself. I can't handle it. It's too much. So I don't think I could handle a lot of horror movies. Monkey is the type where if I'm watching a horror movie, in the moment, you'll see Monkey have very much poker face and kind of a sense of like, yeah, okay, whatever, I understand, not that interesting. Monkey doesn't really let myself get drawn in, I think. And so I just kind of am like, not my thing. But the thing is, even if Monkey doesn't let myself get too drawn in, I still sometimes end up with nightmares if I watch something that's too visually visceral, I guess. I still remember having watched, like, not even the full movie, but like bits and pieces of certain horror, especially gory horror, right? So like, what was it called? The really old one, Final Destination? There's a couple of scenes that stick in Monkey's head and make Monkey go, ugh, bleh, bleh. So mostly I'm certainly not into gory horror movies, or gory movies in general. But I know the horror genre is very wide. There's also like the spooky kind, like what was it called, The Ring or something? I don't know, Monkey doesn't like to be spooked. Those also sometimes give Monkey nightmares or stuff at night. again, for some reason it doesn't bother Monkey in the moment. But later on, when Monkey is sleeping or when it's dark out, then visions come into Monkey's brain that Monkey can't get rid of. And it's just uncomfortable. So I tend to like avoid them. Monkey's not a big fan of being scared. But when it comes to things like psychological horror and certain kinds of psychological thriller, Monkey can be okay. Depends a lot on what kind of movie we're talking about. And sometimes in written form or in drawn form, it doesn't bother me as much in the black and white pencil pen drawings. So I've actually read a decent share of horror manga, despite not liking the genre in general. But there have been some horror manga that I've enjoyed, such as well, they're not really well known, I think, but there was one called Doubt that I enjoyed, and it's your very basic setup. It's like a bunch of people wake up locked in some facility, some unknown facility, and they have to find their way out as people get killed off one by one. For some reason in manga format, I was able to get drawn in and find it interesting. But this is a very strange reference. Do any of you know the really, really old, like, what is it called? Like a teen sitcom or something like that called Boy Meets World? Monkey still remembers having watched an episode as a baby monkey. Maybe it's because I was a baby monkey. But they had a Halloween episode where they decided to do a parody of that exact type of horror genre, where people slowly got killed off one by one inside of the school. And it was supposed to be a parody, and you know, it wasn't even... it probably wasn't even supposed to be that scary, because it was the Halloween episode, right? And it was very, very much playing the tropes. But it, Monkey didn't like that one. No, Monkey didn't like... Definitely certain imagery has stuck with Monkey to this day, so not a big fan of that one. So that kind of shows you the medium matters. Sometimes things like how it's done matters, like Stranger Things. My bro always wants to watch Stranger Things with me. He's always like, hey, let's watch Stranger Things. There's a new season out. Let's watch it. And Monkey was very hesitant at first, but it's so well done, and I don't know, it's so well done, and it's not very gory or anything too visceral. It's more just a little spooky, I guess. There are some scary parts, but then Monkey just looks away. So Stranger Things, I actually found myself very much enjoying because of the interesting plot and characters and everything going on, and the pacing and the sort of like mystery aspect. But after taking a break from it, every time my bro comes back and says, hey, let's watch more Stranger Things, Monkey's like, I don't know, I don't really like horror. I don't think I want to watch that. And I have to watch a bit in order to get back into it and be like, oh wait, I like this one. I forgot about that. I do like this one. And then certain psychological horror, Monkey's just all in on. Monkey really likes certain things, like... The thing that comes to mind for Monkey, the most recent thing I watched that I thought was a real masterpiece that might fall under sort of a psychological horror, psychological thriller kind of movie, is this one really beautiful... it might have been a Danish film? I can't remember. I think it's called... What is it called? It has a great name, too. And of course now Monkey forgets it. Something about, like, judgment or innocence or something like that. I think it's a Danish film. I apologize if I get that wrong and if that offends anyone. I don't mean to be offensive. Monkey just doesn't have any sense of geography. I think it's a Danish film. And it's about kind of a cop, I guess, who is on duty for the emergency, the official like government emergency hotline. So in various countries, you dial various numbers to get there, but they're the emergency responder team, you know? And it's a beautifully done, incredibly acted, wonderfully written movie where it mostly just takes place in a very limited setting in just the emergency responder call center area with very few characters. It's a very small office, mainly focusing just on the main character and the calls that he takes and his reaction to them and his just talking to these people off screen. It is incredible, incredible. Highly recommend. If only I could figure out what it was called. Maybe I should look it up, because I want to recommend this to you guys. Let's see. Danish. I'm gonna look up Danish. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. Danish movie emergency response. The Guilty. That's what it's called. The Guilty. 2018. There's a Hollywood remake of this movie, but it's not as good. So if you don't mind subtitles, I highly recommend watching the original. To be honest, I can't really recommend the remake, the Hollywood remake. It was as far as movies go, I think the only good thing about it is that it drew more attention to the original movie. As a standalone movie, I thought it was kind of could use a lot of work. But the original one, The Guilty, or Danish Den Skillage. I have no idea how to speak Danish. Maybe I should learn. Maybe someone should teach me at some point. But it's called The Guilty. Came out in 2018. It is incredibly good. And it does... I wouldn't say it's horror, I guess. But you could almost call it a psychological horror. So yes, highly recommend. Go find that movie. Go watch that movie. It's so good. Oh, only if you like dark things though. Oh, Monkey should put a huge disclaimer. I forgot to mention before I make these recommendations and you go thinking, "Oh, it's going to be a very monkey friendly movie." It's not super I wouldn't call it a wholesome, cheerful, you know, sort of make you feel good kind of movie. It's kind of the opposite of that. Well, I wouldn't call it unwholesome per se, but it's definitely... I don't know, the Scandinavians are good at this kind of thing. This sort of dark, tense, psychological, humanity is kind of screwed up sort of feeling. It's pretty good, but it's pretty dark, so... go into it knowing that it's gonna be pretty dark. But if you like dark things, it's really well done. It's a piece of art. Okay, Monkey talked for a really long time. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Where was I? Hola, no, amigasauros, buenos dias. Oh, hello, White Bear. Sorry I took so long to get to your message. Welcome. Good to see you. Probably not, Momo. I'm not sure Monkey is into horror. A-Fox knows. A-Fox knows Monkey at this point. Yeah, I don't like horror very much. I don't like horror games either. I liked Last of Us. I didn't play it. I watched my brother play it. And anytime there were zombies on the screen, Monkey turned away. Monkey didn't look. So yeah. that reminds me. Speaking of recommendations for Monkey, I know I recommended Forged in Fire as a nice comfy background show. And it is a nice comfy background show. But if you don't like gore, just like Monkey, there is a portion of every episode they call the Keel Test. And it's cute and it's camp. And it's like, it's really goofy, but it looks gross. And so every time they go in for the Keel Test, Monkey looks away. Monkey closes my eyes and waits for someone to tell me it's over. So as a warning, if you want to watch Forged in Fire but you don't like gore, you do have to close your eyes for a little bit every episode. But it's not usually too long. There was a time when DC and Marvel crossed over. There's a scene where the Wasp yells, "Captain Marvel, look out!" And they both dodge a blast and say, "Thanks." That's so cute! I love that kind of thing. Oh, that's wonderful. There's something really cheerful about that, you know? That's really cool. It reminds me of... It's not the same thing, but... You know the manga group, Clamp? I don't know if they're as active these days. I don't know if they're making anything new. Or just contributing to other people's works. Or if they're done. But they're a very famous manga artist group, circle? I don't know what you call it. They come from the old tradition of, you know... like, doujin circles. But then they made it big, sort of thing. And they made things like Cardcaptor Sakura, Tsubasa Chronicle. They made the character designs for Code Geass. What have they done recently? I don't know. They've done Triple X Holic. They've done a lot of really famous works. In addition to their less famous works. They're just very prolific. And Monkey's always been a big fan. Where was I going with this? Oh yes! Tsubasa Chronicle was really funny. Well, Tsubasa Chronicle and Triple X Holic running at the same time was kind of funny, because both of these series were sort of very magical and involved some amount of dimensional mumbo jumbo, I guess. And so they definitely had episodes where there was a little bit of crossover here and there, where they just one character cameoed in the other just for a brief moment, and you're like, what? And it was like canon part of both of their timelines. One thing I love about Clamp is that because they came from this sort of doujin circle background, I feel like they've always kept that sense of creativity and playfulness. And that sort of wide-ranging in what they do and making stories that they love. And so to Monkey, Tsubasa Chronicle is hilarious because in Monkey's opinion, Tsubasa Chronicle is Clamp saying, "You remember Cardcaptor Sakura? We liked that. We're not making more Cardcaptor Sakura right now. We're gonna make our own Cardcaptor Sakura fanfic." We'll make our own fanfic and throw it in there. That's what it felt like to Monkey. They made a fanfic of their very own manga. and even like characters from their previous manga that they enjoyed, they held on to, like Mokona, which is almost like their mascot. In fact, Mokona is named after one of the members of the Clamp Circle. In fact, Mokona is fun because she, the actual artist, she's into kimono, so she even made her own books about kimono. At least one, which was really fun. I like that kimono fashion book. Okimono, if you wanna look it up. But Mokona, her name was given to that cute little rabbit-like mascot that you see in a lot of Clamp stuff. Originally, I believe, for Magical Knights Rare. But then, because it was too cute, it kept showing up in all sorts of other mangas of theirs. It's really cute. I guess it's a little bit like how Final Fantasy, I'm told, I don't know from personal experience, but I'm told every iteration of Final Fantasy is actually completely separate storyline, completely separate universe. But they still tend to have Moogles and Chocobos and some of these species that seem to carry across the different games, which is kind of cool. Okay, getting carried away again. Metal can be extremely intricate, yes. Oh, power metal is especially nerdy. Oh, especially nerdy. For example, Fellowship was literally named after the Fellowship of the Rings. Oh, that's great! That's wonderful! I didn't know that, but it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Not gonna lie, my Monkey's mind did kind of go that way when you said they were named Fellowship. Not in a super concrete way, but kind of. Yeah, what happened with Marvel's Captain Marvel is literally Stan Lee going, hey, we're called Marvel Comics. No one is using the Captain Marvel name right now. We need a Captain Marvel now. Oh, you know, that's a pretty smart move actually, because the name is out there, right? And it's a pretty good name. So you might as well make it yours. That makes a lot of sense. I don't know much about Stan Lee. I don't know much about him, except that he's one of the big creators for Marvel, I guess. One of the most important creators for Marvel. I don't know which position he held. But he's the one who shows up in all of the Marvel movies, right? Oh, did he pass away recently? I can't recall. But he has a very sweet face. I could go on, but fantasy is a huge part of power metal in general. Oh, interesting. Oh. I like that metal doesn't tend to take itself too seriously. It's funny because from the outside you look at metal and you start to feel like, oh, they take themselves really seriously, don't they? But when you get deeper into it, you start to realize, oh no, they don't take themselves seriously at all. They're just having fun. Which opens up things like having a fantasy influence on your metal and stuff, which is really cool. I think rock can sometimes take itself very seriously. Punk rock takes itself pretty seriously. Emo takes itself pretty seriously. I do like these, but I kind of like them in a semi-ironic way that I think is intentional in some songs, where it's like they take themselves so over seriously that it turns into sounding a little pathetic. And I think that's intentional. They're not meant to sound cool. They're meant to sound like they've gone over the edge of being too edgy, and now it's a little pathetic. That's how Monkey likes to listen to, like, punk rock and emo and stuff. It makes me feel good somehow. I don't know why. Monkey relates, maybe. But metal is almost like a cheerful going over the edge of pushing the boundaries, right? Of the pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable and ridiculous and just having fun. That's what I felt from what little I know. It's like they're all in. And it does tend to be, as far as I can tell, more cheerful than like punk and emo. Cheerful, I think is the right word. Not that it's all cheerful. There's definitely some more serious or darker songs, but somehow it doesn't have the same feeling as punk and emo, which feel like you're caught up in your emotions so much that you're starting to enter some, like a whirlpool that you're stuck in that you can't get out of. Metal's Metal's got more of a sense of release to it. I don't know. I do like a lot of the songs from Guilty Gear, so at least that much. I've heard a little here and there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of songs in metal tend to be about fantasy. Oh! And I guess just folklore in general. Really? Oh, I've never heard these songs. That sounds like fun. To be fair, maybe Monkey has heard some of these songs, but Monkey's really bad at hearing lyrics in the first place. I don't know if anyone's good at it. I don't know if it's easy for anyone to hear lyrics, but Monkey is very bad at it. I will admit. Even for songs where they're relatively clear. And so metal, which tends to have a lot more crazy vocal stuff going on, Monkey often has a really hard time understanding what they're saying. I just gotta look up the lyrics most of the time. So maybe I've seen that kind of thing and I just didn't know. JP Spider-Man has almost the same backstory as Green Lantern. Oh, Hal Jordan. What's JP? Oh, Green Lantern. I heard of Green Lantern, but I actually don't know anything about it. Don't forget to drink water now. Oh, thank you! And hello, Safrudin Ali! Welcome. I still got some tea left, so I'll drink some tea for now. But I'll make sure to drink water once my tea is out. Make sure to hydrate, that's important. Tea has caffeine, and caffeine is a diuretic, so it's true. Hydration is very important. I just realized Monkey is never going to sleep tonight. That's fine. That's fine. Monkey's having caffeinated tea today means Monkey is not going to sleep. That's just the way it is with Monkey. I have zero caffeine tolerance. That's fine. It's fine. When your formative bands have bases in Tolkien, it comes with the territory. Oh, I see. So all of the formative ones, for that genre, come from Tolkien. That's really cool. Hugs and thumbs up. Oh, thank you. Sorry, I'm so behind. Hope you've had a comfy week so far. Oh, thank you, Vesquid. Hello. Good to see you. Sorry for being so behind, but welcome. Yeah, I've had a pretty good week. It's been pretty good. I gotta say. I will say part of why it was so good was the anniversary celebration on Tuesday. You all blew me away with all of your love. I could not understand what was going on. I needed like a couple hours after stream to really process. I mean, so many people showed up and I don't know. Monkey was so happy to see all of you. You really made my week. I've been riding that wave, I guess, ever since the anniversary stream. Which is why I guess today, even though it's been 2 days already, today's our after party. To continue riding the wave of celebration feeling. Monkey feels pretty good. And I've missed talking to all of you. It's a weird thing to say. I know I talk to all of you all the time, but I need to do more just chatting streams. I just enjoy just chatting with all of you. I'm always afraid if I do too many just chatting streams, y'all will get fed up with me and no one will show up, and then Monkey won't have anyone to talk to and Monkey will be sad. But honestly, chatting with all of you really is like my favorite thing ever. It makes my day, it makes my week. It brings me from tired, sleepy, burnt out Monkey into energized, ready to face the world Monkey. Yeah, that's all. Y'all are great. It's been a good week. People think Green Lantern is lame, but I like the rhyme. The rhyme? Green Lantern? Green Lantern? I don't see the rhyme. Is there a rhyme? Oh. I don't know much about Green Lantern. I know they tried to make a movie about him not too long ago, but I didn't see it. I remember thinking he sounded like a cool concept, but now I don't remember what the concept was either. Yeah, OG Bumblebee was a Volkswagen Beetle. Ah. Hound was a Jeep. Starscream was an F-15 jet. Oh. I don't know much about Transformers. I think I watched 1 or 2 movies. I remember Bumblebee being kinda cute, so I feel like a Volkswagen Beetle kind of matches. Let's go to cucumbers. Hello, Cheesecake! Welcome, welcome! Some believe that Geralt of Luhivia is at least that similar to Elric of Melniboné, but no lawsuit has popped up. Now we're getting real deep, Mongoose. I have never heard any of these names. Oh. The only Elric I know is from Full Metal Alchemist. As an aside, it feels like the parodies of said superheroes have become more common than the heroes themselves. That's true. The popularity of the original superheroes has kind of gone down. But I think that makes sense if you think about it, because culture changes, times change. Things that were really relevant in the moment, sometimes they tend to die away in terms of popularity as they start to feel less and less relevant to the culture of the times, right? But parodies are a great way to bring that back into the modern culture, because it's almost like a way of looking back on what our culture used to be and sort of poking at that and how it relates to how culture is now, right? It kind of juxtaposes the two very intentionally. So that makes a lot of sense to Monkey. So that being said, some things I feel like are kind of timeless as well. If you're lucky enough to touch on something timeless, even if sometimes it feels more relevant and sometimes it feels less relevant, sometimes it'll rotate back in. Like reading Watchmen, one of the few Western comics Monkey has read. I read all of Watchmen just recently. That was an experience, because last time I tried to read it, I was like, okay, this is interesting, but then I put it down. But reading it recently, it feels like it has rotated back into relevance, if that makes sense. Suddenly, everything about it felt really real, really prescient. Like they could have been talking about right now, instead of, when was it written? Like 40 years ago? Is that right? I don't know. Monkey's no good with numbers. But yeah, so that was fascinating. I did watch the movies also, but the book is incredible. The comics, another masterpiece, I must say. Really a masterpiece. Also dark. Warning, Monkey likes dark things sometimes. I guess that's what happens when you make something so influential. Yeah, totally. It's interesting how many how you say, tributes, I guess you could call it, you see to influential things across media. Anime is a great example because for example, the Akira bike slide. I recently saw a compilation of people putting that into their anime as just a quick tribute reference. There's a lot of JoJo references everywhere to the point where JoJo references themselves have become a meme. There's a lot of references to kaiji, which is less well known in the West, though nowadays starting to get more popular, I think. Zawa. Lots of zawa. What other references has Monkey seen a lot of? And it's not just in anime. Western media having now this wonderful interplay between Western animation and Japanese animation feeding off of each other, really loving each other and paying tribute to one another. You see it go back and forth that they pay tribute to one another. There's like the classic sword stance that you see. That's a meme. There's the what they call Itani circus, I believe, which is the sort of when a bunch of guns fire off and rather than going straight, they kind of swoosh around everywhere. That was a signature animation style of someone called Itani. I think Itani. And that became really popular, and so a lot of people pay tribute to that. It's very cool, very cool. At Shatter, Alan Moore's fault. Garth Ennis just pushed it to the extreme. Oh? The sort of parody thing? Like the Dark Knight? The Dark Knight technically is a mainline, but also kind of a parody, huh? I hadn't thought about that. Haha, Kamen Rider V3's theme song? Is probably the second Japanese song I ever memorized. Oh, that's awesome! And as a kid, one of the local TV channels had Flashman, Maskman, Gavan, and Kamen Rider Black. Whoa, nice! That's pretty cool! Oh man, Monkey remembers being a baby monkey and singing along to TV openings and stuff. Oh man, good times. I have seen all of Rider and Sentai. Oh! I made a sub-comp of all the Sentai openings. Wow! That's awesome, Mongoose! Wow, so we have a lot of Tokusatsu and Sentai fans in chat today. That's awesome! I can absolutely... Oops. Ah, I'm so far behind! Oh my goodness! I apologize! Oh my goodness! Okay. I can absolutely confirm the Kamen Rider bit. Bats and spider monsters are quite common as a callback to the OG series. And the first episode of Kamen Rider is called The Mysterious Spider-Man! IIRC, wow! That's great! The Mysterious Spider-Man. Nice. You hear something, but the subtitle says something else. Yes. Oh, Narantia. Ah, Narantia! That's right. The one with the M name is someone else. I forget who now. But Narantia. Thank you, Enhiki. That's the one I was talking about. You know, it's a good stream when Monkey is talking about JoJo less than an hour into the stream. Oh dear. Is that so? My favorite is Filthy Acts at a Reasonable Price. Eh? What's that? I don't know this one. Filthy Acts at a Reasonable Price? What does it mean? Oh dear. Filthy Acts at a Reasonable Price, shortened to D4C, of course, Mama. D4C? Monkey doesn't get it. Oh dear. Hello. Fuani, hello. Sorry, when Monkey tries to scroll through the chat to make sure I can read everything, sometimes it jumps around and shows me how far behind I am. I apologize. But welcome. Good to see you. Blood also makes me weird. I felt sick before my blood exam. Funny thing is, when the exam started, I handled it fine. You know, when it comes to like drawing blood out of Monkey or injuries and stuff, Monkey has never had too much of an issue. With in-person blood. Not in terms of like either drawing blood or minor injuries, that sort of thing. Monkey doesn't have that like strong response a lot of people might have. Some of Monkey's siblings do. One of Monkey's siblings cannot handle the sight of blood hardly at all. I guess except when cooking or when it's his own blood. And then one of Monkey's siblings has literally fainted before when getting blood drawn. So it's certainly not a runs in the family thing. But for Monkey, for me, that sort of thing never bothered me. But in the movies, when they make it all gory, or when you're actually literally taking the guts out of a fish, that sort of thing, it's too much for Monkey. When it looks too brutal, I guess. Monkey's very lucky. I have not had to see any brutal injuries to other monkeys or anything like that, or humans. So I don't know how I'd feel about that, but the blood by itself, Monkey is okay with. Okay, I know I'm not cut up yet, but Monkey kind of really needs to go to the little monkey's room. So I apologize to leave y'all hanging like this, but I will come back and I will try to pick up exactly where I left off. So I apologize for not catching up first, but I'll be right back. hello. Monkey is back. Sorry. Sorry for running off and sorry for being so behind. Okay. Let me see. Welcome back. Oh, thank you. I'm looking at the current chat just briefly to see people saying welcome back. Thank you, Biscuit. Hello, Huari. Okaeri. Arigato, Satu-kun. No, yeah. Okaeri. No. Tadaima! Sometimes Monkey gets all of my greetings mixed up. Tadaima! Welcome back. Thank you, Afox. Welcome back. Hope you stop being lost in time soon. Thank you. Gotta go catch you later, Monkey. See you on Discord. Oh, sounds good. Okay, bye-bye, Eduardo. Thanks for coming. Good thing you caught me while I was able to be on current chat for just briefly. Now Monkey is going to transport back to the past. I apologize. Now from the past, hello. hello. Okay, let me see. Where was I? No. Gotta say, Cult of the Lamb is probably my most anticipated game this year, at least in the indie scene. It's been out for about 7 hours. Oh! And I'm already hearing Indie Game of the Year, so I'll play it. Oh! And I will be the judge of that. Our local game critic, Afox. I'm excited to hear what you have to think about it. I'm excited to hear what... Does that make sense grammatically? I'm not sure. I'm excited to hear your take on it, though. Oh no. The art style is hand-drawn cute goodness. I haven't played a top-down rogue like this. Like since Hades. Ah, Hades is one that I've been seeing a lot of recently. One or two of Monkey's brothers has been playing it. It looks really good. The voice acting's really good. It's really pretty. And I'm looking forward to building my cult up Animal Crossing style. It's so tempting to Monkey because it looks so cute. I want to have a little village too. But I'm not really sure it's gonna be monkey style game because as far as I understand, I'm not a huge fan of roguelikes. I watched one of my brothers play a lot of Binding of Isaac, which I hear is a roguelike, and that was fun to watch, but I don't think I would play it myself. I agree. I get skittish, especially when it's dark out when I'm at home. Yeah, after watching something scary. Monkey never likes scary things. Ever since I was a baby monkey, I was like, nope, not interested. No way. It was my own little form of rebellion to be like, I don't see why I should have to power through scary things if I don't even like them. I don't have to like them, so I'm not going to. But yeah, no scary things. Just a tip for horror movies now. If you're worried a scary scene is coming, look in the bottom left/right corner of the screen, since then you won't be scared and look like a pro. Oh! Nice tip, Afox. Because whatever's coming is not gonna be too important. You're not gonna see too much of it if you're looking at the bottom of the screen. But no one will notice that you're looking away, huh? Not a bad idea. Plus, then you'll know when it's over, right? And you can still kind of pay attention to what's happening. I will consider this. Monkey has left behind any feeling of shame of just looking away. I just look away and be like, tell me when it's over. Personally, I have been jaded to horror after Outlast. It was not my thing. Oh, jaded to horror. Meaning you don't enjoy it anymore? Or... well, it wasn't your thing, huh? I really don't know anything about Outlast. I've heard the name in chat a few times, I think, but I don't know anything about it. Yes. Yes. Boy Meets World. Ah. Mr. Feeney was kind of an inspiration to me. Oh, really? Oh, I see. Oh. It was a bit inspirational, huh? For me, I love horror movies in general. Oh, I see. Hello again now. Oh, Chito, hello. Oh dear, Monkey must be so behind. Hello, Chito, welcome. Hello, chat. Oh. Stranger Things is top class. The characters are just great. Everything from the relationship of Mike and Elle to Sam and Lucas. I just love the characters. It feels like the modern version of the Goonies. I don't know anything about the Goonies. I've heard the term before. I like that. It feels like there's a lot of different genres happening at once in Stranger Things. Like, you got the classic young characters in their monster movie, and then you got the classic teenagers in their monster movie, and then you have adults doing their version of a monster movie. And it feels like 3 different genres all packaged together quite neatly. And yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool, and I feel like depending on where you are in your life, you can resonate with each of these 3 differently. Which is pretty cool. Have you seen the new movie called Prey now? I don't think so. Sounds like a horror movie. Monkey doesn't really keep up with horror movies. I have heard about it. I may give it a watch. Oh! It's a Predator prequel, but it's actually really good. Oh, that's exciting. I mean, for people who like classic horror movies. I've heard the term Predator. I assume it's a classic horror movie? Hollywood remakes of foreign movies tend to be... you know. It's unfortunate but true. I feel like in some ways, if you're gonna remake a movie, you ought to try to do it some justice, because you're gonna be up against the original, right? There's always gonna be that comparison. But instead, most of them tend to be the sort of easy grab for the recognition because people will watch it anyway. Even when Hollywood remakes its own movies, sometimes it's nowhere near as good as the original, and you wonder, why did they even do this? But I guess people will watch it anyway, so... I guess that's why. It's a little unfortunate though. In terms of horror games, I just love the concept of being in a confined space and being chased by some weirdo. Like Mr. X in Resident Evil. Oh, I played a game recently called Non-Massacre. That sounds... oh, which was scary AF. Oh, you like being chased? That suddenly made Monkey think, is there a real-life equivalent of this sort of being chased down sort of thing, but in like real life? Where you're being chased down but you know you're safe, and so it's okay? And I think some haunted houses can be like that, right? Not all of them, but some. I wonder... hey Fox, do you like it in games? Do you like it in haunted houses too? But my favorite game with horror elements is probably Bloodborne. While yes, it's a Dark Souls, the atmosphere is top-notch. Oh! You know, I've seen Bloodborne. I hadn't considered that it could be considered horror as well. Because it's very much... Monkey would say it doesn't... What I've seen of it doesn't look scary, but it does have those kind of spooky vibes. Monkey can kind of like spooky vibes sometimes, like vampires and sort of gothic-y dark horror type things. Just for the aesthetic. Not usually if it's scary, but if it's got the aesthetic. There was a time when Monkey was into vampire novels, as I guess is not uncommon. But I haven't read any of the really famous ones yet. Speaking of dark... speaking of dark... Sorry, just that one phrase reminded Monkey. Really good series from... Where is it from? Germany? Very good series from Germany. If you like sort of mystery sort of sci-fi, I guess? Mystery sci-fi. Let's put it that way. Dark. It's called Dark. It is a bit dark at times, but it's not horror, I think. But it's a really good series. I recommend. I will say preemptively, I probably shouldn't say this, but I will say preemptively, I wasn't a huge fan of the way they ended it. I thought the way they ended it could have been... Everything else is a really tight package, and I think that the ending could have been better. But everything up until the ending, literally everything up until the ending, I thought was really great. So, can be kind of worth a watch, I think. Let's see. Speaking of dark, have you guys seen Moonray's now deleted music video? Oh, called Dun Dun. The video depicts tragic historical events in a cute way. Oh, she deleted it though. I didn't see it when it was live. I didn't hear about this Is it controversial? Controversial, I assume, if it was deleted? Oh, that's a little unfortunate. Love how Bloodborne slowly ramps up. You just feel incredibly uneasy with your limited resources, and the sound design is insane. The red moon to the scream, and body parts being sliced to baby crying. Oh, so it does have sort of a horror feeling to it too? Do you feel tense when you play, I guess? Clamp, eh? Yeah, they're legends. They really are, right? True legends. Legends of manga. Legends of anime too, because a lot of their manga got made into anime, into popular anime. And it probably has my favorite OST too. Oh, high praise coming from AFox. Oh. Like, hello, Terrence. Sorry, I'm so behind, but welcome. Good to see you. I wonder how you'd feel about certain analog horror series now. Analog horror series? What is analog? Like oral tradition? Like creepy stories around a campfire? That kind of? I've never really done that sort of thing, actually. I've heard lots and lots of people talk about it, but I've never done it, probably because Monkey doesn't like scary things, so I never... I never fell in with people who like to do that kind of thing. I'm not sure if I would like that or not. A lot of the famous ones are almost exclusively psychological. Oh, like Monkey's Paw? I really enjoyed reading Monkey's Paw for all of you on our Spooky Campfire Stories Halloween stream. Surprisingly, somehow, I really had never read it before. So, what you got from Monkey on that day was my first reaction. Monkey reacts to the monkey's paw, I guess. And so, I didn't know what to expect at all. And I was a bit pleasantly surprised by how it was, in a way, like you said, almost exclusively psychological. Impressively so. Reminded me a little bit of like Edgar Allan Poe type of stuff. Very psychological. Yeah, I have seen the Dan Dan vid. Hololive removed it. Oh. And I do think that the last event could have been changed as it was very recent and victims may still be alive today. Oh, I see. Oh, that's what you meant by they took tragic events and depicted in a cute way. Kind of a little too irreverent. Oh, that's unfortunate too. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. Perhaps we should drop it then. Yeah, we probably shouldn't get into it too far, but in some ways, thank you for letting Monkey know that this is happening. Not that I need to know too much news, I guess, but Monkey's very out of the loop. So sometimes something like this will get brought up and Monkey will be totally out of the loop and not know how to respond properly, even though it's something everyone knows. Because I never heard about it. So it's a little bit good to know that that might be going on right now, so that if I encounter something related to it, I know what it's about. But I think that's as deep as it really needs to go. I can agree with that. I don't think I really need to know much more about it than that. But thank you, I appreciate it. I mean, that was all I was gonna say on it anyways. Okay. Hopefully the events in question can get removed and then vid get re-uploaded. Ah, I see. That's a possibility. Because it was a music video, right? So there's probably a lot of work that went into it, and then the sound recording and everything like that. It's unfortunate, but they might have to redo the whole video if there's a lot of those kinds of scenes. But, you know, at least for the artists to be able to have some sort of something to show for their work would be nice, even if they have to take out a lot of it that was perhaps a bit too controversial. I need to read more manga. Haven't finished my Madoka. Oh, but I bought this very cute fluff manga about a little girl who takes care of pets. That sounds like fun, Fuari. What manga is that? Monkey likes a lot of fluffy manga sometimes. Some of my favorite fluffy manga right now are Flying Witch, which comes out very rarely, but it's very good. And Michael-san no Chi no Makanai-san, the caterer at the Michael house. Also very cute, very fluff, very food, lots of food involved. I like a lot of food ones. There was one I liked called Otomo Gohan no Otomo? Something like that. It's just about stories that are centered around food, but it's like a beautiful, like, how do I say? These character vignettes of people's lives seen through the lens of, like, sort of the food that they eat. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Gohan ni Otomo? Something like that. Like, along with food. I don't know if it has an English title, but it's this beautiful all-color sort of short manga. What else do I like recently? Oh, this is not a fluff manga. This is maybe the opposite of a fluff manga. But for those of you who have been following Hoseki no Kuni, Kingdom of Jewels, Land of the Lustrous, that's the official translated name. It was on hiatus for a while, and it's finally started back up again, so... Just so you know, those of you who have been into that one. Very much not fluff and feel good, but... I was thinking about the manga I've been reading recently. And... oh, Nekomichi, I like. And now it's very behind. I'm so sorry, Fox. I'm so sorry. I'm having too much fun responding to all of you. Y'all have so much funny... not funny. Fun things to say. Basically, he and his co-creators like Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko created Marvel. Ah! Plus, he had a good sense of how to make things popular. Ah! Like making Spider-Man a teenager instead of an adult man, Spidey resonated with young people more than adults like Batman and Superman. Ah! That makes a lot of sense. Oh, clever. Oh, so he had an eye for what resonates with people. That's really cool. That's a skill that Monkey has so much respect for. Monkey has no idea how to resonate with people. I'm just here. I'm just here. And this is what I have. And so I give you what I have and I say I hope someone wants it. Someone somewhere is gonna want whatever it is here that Monkey has. Whatever this is. But I personally cannot figure out what it is that I have. I just know that I'm giving it to you. So people who can really understand people to that level, to really understand what they're about and what they like and how to give it to them in a way that they will enjoy, that's so cool. That's so cool. Hello, hello. Cuckoo, welcome! Monkey, sorry I'm behind. Looks like I'm catching up though. I'm not as behind. Okay, I know that's not saying much. It's not saying much, but little by little, I think I'm closer than I was before. Oh dear. I don't think I've even caught back up to the point where I stepped away yet, have I? Because then I would see all the welcome backs. I am so sorry. But welcome. It's good to see you. How are you doing, Cuckoo? Or how the Fantastic Four are a team, but they're also a family that bickers a lot, making them feel more human. Ah, I do like that. I like that a lot. Oh, that's nice. Monkey-san is so sweet. Ah, no, I am just Monkey, but thank you. It's always nice to have a just chatting stream. Oh, I'm glad you think so, Shatter. I think so. I really enjoy the just chatting streams, even though I'm always afraid, would anyone actually want to chat with Monkey? It's unbelievable to Monkey to imagine that all of you want to chat with Monkey. Why? Why would you want that? But somehow it usually works out. So thank you, really. In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. Oh, that's actually beautiful. That reminds me of like... Maybe this is not what they meant. I mean, obviously this is not what they meant. But it reminds me of Mahou Shoujo style anime, where there's often like a cute little chat they use to transform. Like in Cardcaptor Sakura, for example. And that's a really cute poem. I don't know. I really like the cadence of it. It sounds really nice. A lot of famous parodies of superheroes completely miss the point. Oh, interesting. Is that so? Alan Moore didn't understand why Rorschach was popular. He's the only character who refuses to lie. Wait, Alan Moore made Rorschach, but he didn't expect him to be so popular, huh? That's really interesting. Oh, because he's such a compelling character? And a lot of the story is told through his eyes, right? I find it interesting because I also feel like it would be a little strange, in my opinion, for Rorschach to be popular. I don't think he should be popular. In fact, he's a little bit detestable. He's a little bit not very likable at all. He's simply compelling, right? And I thought that was kind of the whole point across Watchmen, was that at first you start off with what sounds like your typical noir hero, right? But he's like a little too edgy and you're kind of like, I don't know, this seems a little silly. And then you realize, oh no, that's part of it. That's the entire point. This guy has gone off the deep end and he is not cool. They do such a good job making Rorschach not cool. He is very not cool and a little bit scary and a little bit gross and like just makes you feel kind of like uncomfortable. Like you would never want to be in the same room with this guy, whether in his superhero form or when he's in disguise. It's just like, I don't think I want to be have anything to do with this guy. And I think that was a really cool deconstruction of this whole masked vigilanteism in general, right? And so I really appreciated that of Rorschach's character. And I also appreciated that as time goes on, he goes from, okay, well, this is a little over the top, to, okay, this is really gross and creepy, and I guess that's the point, to, I guess I understand where this character is coming from. I think I understand this character. And in some instances, here and there, because of the way the story is, you find yourself eventually kind of rooting for Rorschach. Not because you like him, not because you want him to, not because you want anything to do with him, but because some of his goals somehow start to align with what you want to happen. And that's kind of a scary feeling. When you find yourself, when something is like dangerous is happening around Rorschach, and part of you recoils being like, oh no, and then you realize, wait, am I cheering for Rorschach? That can't be right. At least Monkey had that feeling at least once. And it was a strange feeling. And even when I felt that feeling, I was like, I still don't think I like Rorschach. And I still don't believe in what he does. But you just, I don't know. It's part of the grand comedy of the whole Watchmen series, right? There's only one actually unmarred good character, where he's not necessarily only done good things in his life. He's human like everyone else, but he's the only one who you feel like truly has a good conscience through and through. And of course, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but oh man, his story arc, it just makes you go, wow, I see. This is the grand comedy of life, isn't it? Oh jeez. It's not very funny, to be honest, for a grand comedy. But it reminds me of something I read in a different book, not in Watchmen, but in a different book where sometimes life is so much. Sometimes life is so sad that you just have to laugh at it. And I don't think that's the only reason we should have laughter in our lives. But I do think that is one reason we have laughter in our lives. To make things that would otherwise be unbearable be a little bit more bearable. And so I kind of understand that. Even though, again, the comedian, not a character that I like. In the end, by the very end, I started to realize I don't think I like any of these characters. I wouldn't say any of them should be popular. If they become popular and idolized, Monkey is worried. Monkey would not be surprised, because that's kind of the entire point of the comic. But a little worried though. Especially if it's Rorschach. Well, you know, such is the way, I guess. So I guess I can see why Alan Moore would be surprised of Rorschach being popular, even though he wrote him in a way that would make him popular. But maybe he was hoping that he wouldn't actually become popular? That's wishful thinking, Alan Moore. You understand humanity better than that. Have you guys heard of the new original superhero comic book called ISOM? This book came from Lupaverse? I have not heard of it at all. What kind of superhero comic book is it, Chito? Ah yes, the beauty of time-space compression. Time-space compression. Oh dear, oh dear. I BRB'd and paused chat at minutes ago. Oh, Monkey has hiccups. 1 second. Wow. Okay, I think we're okay now. How do you all get rid of hiccups? Usually Monkey just holds my breath. This time wasn't so bad, so it worked pretty quickly. I BRB'd and paused chat at minutes ago. Now I'm back. I saw Monkey just reached where I had paused at. I'm sorry, Hiki. But welcome back. It was intentional. It was fate. It was just for you, Hiki. Maybe, kind of. I don't know. Oh dear. Well, hi now. Hello, Fuari of the past. Hello, hello. Perhaps I will meet you in the future soon. Oh. Should we wait for Monkey? Yes, probably. It's okay, it's okay. I don't mind if you keep going. If you don't mind if Monkey stays in the past. If you would rather have Monkey catch up, then yes, maybe it's good to slow down a little bit. But if you don't mind Monkey being behind the conversation, it's okay for now, because we still have, at this point, I don't know where you guys are at. When I get to the future, we'll see again. But at this point, Monkey has still about an hour left in stream, so I have time to catch up. Kind of, maybe. But yes, just for you, Safud and Ali of the far, far past, Monkey has started drinking some water. You know, Monkey noticed last stream that sometimes when Monkey drinks something, Monkey's face goes a little crazy. I apologize for that. Sometimes Monkey's face goes a little crazy. That just means I'm drinking something. Nothing I can do about that. Let's see. Hi. Oh, Teddy! Welcome, welcome! Welcome, Teddy of the past! Tito, I've heard of it. Wish there were a digital version since they don't deliver where I live. Oh! Oh, I see, I see. So it's actually full print. Now that's unusual, I feel. I feel like a lot of smaller publications these days tend to be online, right? To reach as big of an audience as possible. Oh, that's pretty cool. Or is this from a big name and just a new publication? Welcome back. Oh, here we are! I've caught up to where Monkey stepped away last time. Oh dear. Welcome back. Well, thank you. Stan Lee wanted to adapt Jetman into English, but couldn't get the right. Oh, Jetman! Is that another Sentai? Another masked Sentai, I guess. Sabang adapted, Red butchered, Zyuranga into MMPR. And the rest is history. Zyuranger. Oh! MMPR, is that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? I remember seeing those. I remember seeing them here and there when I was a baby monkey, but I never actually watched any of it. And it was only later on that I learned how different it was. I didn't even realize that they actually, for the original run of Power Rangers at least, they took all of the Super Sentai fights where they had the masks on, and used the same original footage, but created new footage for everything where they had masks off, which is a fascinating way of doing media. I haven't heard of anything else really like it since then. That's really, really interesting. And in that way, they culturally adapted all of the stories and the characters and stuff, but were able to keep the original, stunts and fighting scenes and stuff like that. Very fascinating, really interesting. Lots of welcome back, Swathy. Monkey's a time traveler. I knew it. No. Just a monkey. Yeah, I guess this is what she meant by time travel. Well, it does happen a lot. I don't have very good control over it, though. That's the problem. The time travel is completely outside of my control. I apologize for my loose hold on time. Salutong. Remus, hello! I'm sorry I'm so far behind. I'm sure you came here a while ago, but thank you for coming. It's good to see you. How are you doing? I wonder if we can ever have a collab with past and present love. Well, that's an idea. Walking in, Remus. Now is behind Poncha, so she's trying her best to catch up. Thank you for explaining, Satur. Thank you for explaining when Monkey isn't able to be there. Oh dear. It's true. It's like nothing new, but also I'm sorry. I am sorry. I bow. I think there's a way that could work somehow. I get the feeling there is too, but I'm not sure how. She could react to her debut. Oh yeah, I was just talking about that last stream, wasn't I? I'm not sure if I'm ready for that yet. Maybe next year. Oh boy, that'll be... Oh my goodness. Now that would be a punishment stream right there. Speaking of punishment streams. Oh dear. It does sound like an interesting idea though. It has almost gotten to the point where the original debut is so long ago that Monkey doesn't remember everything about it. I guess Monkey has a bad memory. I probably didn't remember everything about it, even just after the stream ended. But what I mean is, it would probably be a pretty fun walk down memory lane. It's not a bad idea. I'll think about it. Much love to Nal and happy 2 years. Everyone, welcome! Good to see you. Thank you. I'll be gone by the time you read this. Oh, but thank you for all you have done and putting smiles on our faces. Oh, Ebro, thank you so much. I'm so sorry that Monkey is so behind. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, leaving nice messages for Monkey and then running off. I see how it is. Oh dear, but thank you so much. And it's been nice having you around for... Wow, how long has it been now? Monkey's no good at keeping track, but it's been a long time, hasn't it? Oh my goodness. Oh. I don't think I've done very much, but if I can put smiles on some of your faces every once in a while, that makes me happy. Oh dear. Goonies. Who are the Goonies? Hide and seek? I wonder if we'll remember the context for that. No. I don't know the context. Oh dear. Hide and seek is epic though, especially in a large space with tons of people. Oh! Oh, okay. Context understood. That's a great suggestion, Remus. Actually, you're right. A very classic horror thriller game. Hide and seek. And it is really fun in a large space with tons of people. That was Monkey's favorite. Monkey really enjoyed playing hide and seek in like a forest. A safe forest, mind you. Never play hide and seek somewhere dangerous, because that's very dangerous, you know. Because if you're hiding and no one finds you, that's very dangerous. But in like a safe forest, Monkey had all sorts of strategy. I wasn't the best, but I wasn't the worst, and that's what I was aiming for. And also, I guess it depends also what kind of hide and seek you play. Because some hide and seek, the moment you're found, you're out, right? And some hide and seek, the person who's it has to tag you first in order for you to be out, right? And so then you can have the chase aspect as well. And there's the kind of hide and seek where you buckle down and you stay in one place and you hunker in. And then there's a kind of hide and seek where you can move around and just kind of like be mysteriously here and now you're over there. And a kind of hide and seek where the person who's it infects anyone who they find and they also become it. There's a lot of variations now that Monkey thinks about it. Very good classic horror game. Monkey's down for this one. Analog horror is a subgenre that fixates on the aesthetic. Oops. Where are we? That fixates on the aesthetic of old VHS tapes. Oh? The horror elements come in when the distortion of the tape, with the distortion of the tapes and the themes alongside, rather than violence and gore. Oh! Interesting. I don't think I've seen anything like that. I will say that certain elements of a certain VN that we have played in the past seem to feed on that kind of idea. I'm not sure if it's the same or not, because it's more of a digital distortion in that case. But it seems like a similar sort of idea. I'm not sure if I like that very much or not. I guess it depends on how it's done. Monkey doesn't really have much desire to be scared, I guess. Especially jump scares. Monkey sees no joy in jump scares. The Mandala catalog is something else. Does that count as analog horror? The Mandala catalog. Oh, I haven't heard of that. I know what mandalas are. Mandala catalog is maybe the most famous series, yes. Oh, interesting. I'm just gonna look this up real quick so I can see the aesthetic of it. Mandala catalog. Oh, it's kind of creepy. Nope, I don't like that. Nope, I already don't like that. Not gonna look at it anymore. I'm gonna close that window, keep that off my screen. I don't need any of that. No, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, that's already gonna haunt Monkey's dreams. Monkey should have been more careful. No, no, none of that. I don't like that. No. Michael, like a geisha in training. Yeah. It's about a geisha house where the geisha house itself that it takes place in doesn't have any senior geisha living at the house at the time. I think it's because the house mother is relatively young. She probably just recently graduated from being a geisha herself to starting her own geisha house. And so her geisha house is full of Michaels, but not too many geisha yet. The geisha we meet tend to be already independent geisha who have graduated from their geisha houses. But it's full of Michael-chan. Michael-chan, they're so cute! And the main characters are basically two people, well, three people really, who grew up as childhood friends out in the inaka, in the countryside. I can't remember exactly where from, but think like Aomori style, you know, like really far out in the countryside. And two of them move to Kyoto to try to become Michael, and one of them continues as Michael, and the other one is not really well suited to it, but is a really good and thoughtful cook, and ends up becoming the cook at the Michael-san's house, like at the Michael house, because of various circumstances and timing just lining up. And so she becomes their cook, and so we get a nice set of stories that kind of go through the parallelization of the one who became a Michael, kind of her progression through the different stages of being a Michael, and she's like incredible at it. And then also the wonderful sense of like comfy support that we get from the main character, who is the cook. And the support she gives to both her friend and the rest of the girls at the Michael house, in terms of the food that she presents to them. And then the third character, the third friend, is more of a side character but has become a little more relevant recently. He's another one of their childhood friends, and the three of them have this wonderful trusting relationship that just makes you feel so comfy. They're the kind of friends who understand each other without having to say anything. It's really nice. And so I really like that series. It's one of my favorites for sure. I mean, it has best friends, it has tasty food, and it has Michael stuff. I mean, it just has everything that Monkey kind of likes. I really like Michael stuff. I don't know. I think if Monkey was talented enough, it would be something Monkey would be kind of interested in. But I just don't have I don't have the talent or the work ethic to really do that sort of thing, to become a geisha. But I do like a lot of geisha style work. And you know, honestly, that's kind of one reason why Monkey is a VTuber, is it reminds me a little bit of geisha style work. In the way that maid cafes also remind Monkey of geisha style work. It all comes kind of from a similar tradition, in Monkey's opinion. A style of sort of interactive entertainment, if that makes sense. A style of interactive entertainment that's in some ways very unique to Japanese culture, in that it was really bred and formed into a certain form in Japan, and therefore has persisted throughout the culture even as geisha themselves start to fall out of fashion. It's really sad that geisha are falling out of fashion. I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on that. I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on that. But maybe I won't go too deep into it because we're gonna get even more behind. Unless one of you finds it interesting and makes a comment about it, then I might get into it when I get to your comment. I've been reading this really fluffy manga called Black Lagoon. Oh, I've heard of Black Lagoon, but I don't know anything about it. Is Black Lagoon fluffy? I thought it was sort of an action-y sort of thing. I'm going to marry Balalaika. Balalaika? Oh. You can do it. We believe in Monkey. Thank you, Cuckoo. Thank you. Oh. I'm back. Is this present Monkey? Not yet, Flutty. I'm sorry. Not yet. Oh dear. Spider-Man resonated with everyone. Oh. When Stan was alive, most people who met him said, "You're that guy who made Spider-Man." Ah. That makes sense. Because Spider-Man being younger means he'll resonate with the youth. But also, it seems like, you know, if you're not younger, if you're older, at some point you must have been younger. And so if a young character is portrayed really well, it resonates well with everyone, right? That's pretty cool. I was realizing recently that that's probably why a lot of the really popular media out there in general tends to focus on young people. Either young adults or teenagers, that sort of thing, because it's a time that a lot of people can resonate with. Well, now, when you see this, I'll be gone since I kinda need to sleep. Good night, chat. Oh, okay, sorry, A-Fox, but, you know, even if you're not here anymore, I hope you have good sleep, sweet dreams. Sorry I wasn't able to say goodbye in real time, but I wish you well, A-Fox, and good luck. I know you mentioned things are a bit hard for you right now, so Monkey's sending you lots of love, lots of support, and any amount. I don't know. I know it doesn't do much. I know I can't do much from here, but if it helps even a little bit, I hope I hope I can help you a little bit. I don't know. Monkey's not very articulate. At Saturn, I love analog horror as well as ARGs. Oh, ARGs are the sort of meta games, right? If I remember correctly, they have elements where you have to like hack things. Oh boy. Sorry to say, but I think Monkey has to visit the little monkey's room again. And I think if I wait until I catch up, it will be too late. So I apologize, but I will be right back again. Big sorry. I'll be right back. enjoy this stream. Hopefully you're all enjoying it. I know I'm enjoying myself. That's part of the problem. I'm enjoying myself too much and getting all caught up, but... Alright, let me see. We'll try our best. We're getting closer. Well, we're either getting closer or the scroll bar is getting smaller because the stream has gone on for so long. Maybe we're not getting closer at all. I'm not gonna think about it. Let's just keep going. Also, let me take a peek at the present before I hop back to the past. Welcome back again. Thank you, Shatter. Thank you. Alright. Oh! Gymnopedy #1 hype. What timing? Okay. Where was I? Please excuse me. Let's see. Green Lanterns always seem very close to Henshin heroes. Oh, really? Well, that's pretty cool. Oh, I didn't know that. Shazam is a Henshin hero, basically. Oh, really? Wow, so there must have been a lot of influence then. Do you think that the Western comics drew a lot of influence from these tokusatsu films? But Rorschach refuses to compromise his moral code, and that made people love him. That's interesting. Because in my opinion, Rorschach's character exists to criticize holding a moral code too strongly, too strictly. In my opinion, his entire character exists to sort of deconstruct that idea of a strict moral code of good and bad and show it as something really terrifying. And in fact, in some ways, he exemplifies it the most. But the entire cast of Watchmen seems to be composed to show what happens if you have too many people who are so strict about their own moral codes, but no two will ever be alike. And what happens when those kinds of strong characters come into contact? That's interesting. A little scary. Reminds me a little bit of the movie V for Vendetta. Monkey watched the movie, but I've never read the comics. And the movie kind of left a bad taste in my mouth because I always felt like the main character V is very much idolized and sort of made out to be some sort of hero in that movie, which I thought felt uncomfortable. But I'm told that in the original source material, V is a little bit more like Rorschach in that he's not supposed to be someone you see as good. He's more like someone who deconstructs that idea again of this sort of strict moral code with no exceptions, taken to an extreme, to a violent extreme, and the dangers therein. Except that he has charisma, so it's a little bit about that too, about that danger. Whereas Rorschach has no charisma. Rorschach honestly has very intentionally the opposite of charisma. Fascinating. I can see how that would confuse Alan Moore, because my reading of it at least, and of course I don't know for sure, but my reading of it was that the refusal to compromise his moral code is sort of what makes Rorschach what he is, but also what Rorschach is supposed to be something kind of scary, something you're kind of not supposed to emulate. Shazam was arguably the first. Oh, interesting. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I wonder if that's where Mahou Shoujo comes from, ultimately. Check out the Bruce Timm Green Lantern animated series, if you can find it. Oh, Bruce Timm Green Lantern animated series. Okay, let me make a note of that. great stuff, although they skipped yellow and indigo. Wait, there were other colors? Okay, wait. This is starting to sound like Super Sentai. Is there a whole team? Yeah, I think the comedian was like the Joker trying to be a good guy. There's definitely an overlap between Alan Moore's comedian and Alan Moore's Joker, right? There's a very clear overlap. And one thing that I thought was a cute Easter egg? I don't know if it's an Easter egg. Is that the comedian's original outfit, in Monkey's opinion, has a strong appearance of the Joker. A very similar sort of look to it. I don't know exactly how to explain, but when I saw him at first, I thought, wait, is that the Joker? But it's actually young comedian. And then old comedian, of course, has the scar that I think was then used as inspiration for the later, the darker version of the Joker that also has scars on his face, right? It's a very similar sort of thing. So there's definitely some overlap there in terms of characterization. I would say, at first I thought it was gonna be sort of a straight-up comparison between the comedian and the Joker because there are a lot of obvious overlaps. But I enjoyed that the comedian himself had a lot to him that separates him from the Joker as well. Like he draws some inspiration and then gives some inspiration as well to the Joker, but he's not the same. If you want to see Alan Moore go sicko mode. What is sicko mode? Read Miracle Man. Oh, it makes Watchmen look like a kid's book in some places. Oh, really? Miracle Man. Miracle Man Alan Moore version, I guess. Oh, I will have to take a look, perhaps, if I can find it. And I'm curious. What part of it? What do you mean by? Like, where does it go beyond? Watchmen. That means he started to the trend of soups being based on murder and control. That The Boys is turning up to 11. It saddens me. Oh, The Boys. Is that the recent live-action series that was talking about, violent superheroes? I haven't watched it, but what I've heard about it is that it does kind of miss some of the point in terms of the violence of superheroes. Like, people had hoped that it was sort of a Watchmen-style treatise in a way on superheroes, but that it ended up being more of just a gore fest that somehow ended up glorifying the heroes anyways, which is kind of not the point. If that's the series that I'm thinking about. Zyuren Danger is the Dinosaur Squadron, but it only has 2 dinosaurs. Well, I mean, that's still 2 more dinosaurs than a normal squadron, right? So I mean, like, if you have 10 people and 2 bears in your squad, you might still call yourselves Bear Squad, right? It kind of makes sense. Though it does seem like a bit of false advertising. Like if you heard Bear Squad, you'd think maybe 10 bears and maybe 2 humans. But even so, 2 bears and 10 humans, you still might call it a Bear Squad. Pteranodon doesn't count. Oh, Pteranodon doesn't count. Because it's not really a dinosaur? Saber-toothed tiger and mammoth are mammals. I guess that's true. Dragon? Need I even explain? Wait, there's a dragon? Oh, interesting. Zyuranga Danger Zoo, though, sounds like maybe they were saying, like, zoo? Maybe they meant animal squad? Dragon is my favorite dinosaur. Me too, me too. I always thought they seemed really related, personally. Especially Western dragons. Western dragons sure look a lot like dinosaurs to me. I get the feeling there's gotta be some sort of genetic relation way back in the past. Eastern dinosaurs, or not dinosaurs, Eastern dragons definitely come from a different lineage. I think they're both called dragons, you know, Eastern and Western dragons, just because they're both really big and powerful, but I think the name is a bit of a misnomer. Those two, I think, come from two separate genetic lineages, but dinosaurs and Western dragons, there's definitely something going on there. Although there are theories that the legend of dragons come from people discovering dinosaur bones way back when. Oh, interesting, interesting. At Saturn, true. You mean dragons aren't real? I don't think that's what they meant. At Fuari, I didn't say that. Yeah, see? It's not... So, I think because their skeletons would be very similar, right? But you don't see a lot of dead dragons. That's not very common, right? Well, you might see a dinosaur skeleton and say, hey, is that a dragon skeleton? And misidentify it. I think that's what they meant. Of course they are. There's one right now. A dragon? Wait, Shatter, you have a dragon? Is there a dragon that lives with you, Shatter? Wow. At Remus, I only read The Birth Scene of MM last night. The Birth Scene of MM. What does this mean? Code, I guess. Code to avoid spoilers. Speaking of dinosaur bones being mistaken for dragons, I remember I once heard mammoth skulls were what inspired the Cyclops. Mammoth bones? Mammoth skulls? Mammoths don't look a lot like Cyclops, do they? Do they have... Did they have some sort of, Did they find a skull that had a damage that made it look like it had a single eye? I'm sorry, Mongoose. I'm also really sorry to tell you, but that's not even the goriest part. Oh, is it gory though? If it's gory, I'm guessing is Miracle Man that you talked about? If it's gory, Monkey can sometimes be okay with it in black and white comics, but in color comics, less so. And especially if it's very prevalent throughout the piece, then Monkey tends not to be into it. If there's a little bit here and there, Monkey can put up with it. Like, for example, Watchmen doesn't have that much gory, actually. It's more just here and there. I did not like the gory scenes. I kind of looked away. But if there weren't too many. But if there's a lot, that might prevent Monkey from being able to enjoy it. I scared no. Oh dear. Yeah, we'll just forget about that. We'll forget Monkey ever saw it. Monkey, no, don't look for the Mandela catalog. Cuckoo, thank you. Thank you for your warning. A little too late, but at least I stopped. I saw something and then I stopped. None of that. No more of that. Nope, not for Monkey. Monkey geisha. Yeah, I wish. I would really love to be geisha. But to be geisha, you need lots of talents. You need to be able to dance, you need to be able to play music, and to sing, and to like be up to date on current events. That last one might actually be the hardest thing for Monkey now that I think about it. The ability to have an intelligent conversation about what's going on in the world. I don't think Monkey can do that. But Monkey's also not very graceful and all sorts of other things. I've tried all of these things, dancing and music and all sorts of stuff. I don't think I'm very talented at it. And, you know, as much as I enjoy it, I'm not sure it necessarily brings me 100% joy. But I do like entertaining, and I do like chatting with people. And there's also the playing games together. Monkey can do that. Maybe not drinking games. Monkey won't really want to do the drinking games, but just games, you know? That sort of thing. Yeah. When you really think about it, there's so many parallels between geisha and maid culture that it becomes very clear where maid culture came from. It's a modern pop niche version of geisha. Minus the sort of years and years of training. I think maid cafes, one thing that they kind of didn't take from the geisha tradition, which is understandable and has its own charm, but doesn't really. It feels like you do lose something in the adoption, in the adaptation, is that most maids are relatively inexperienced entertainers. They're more like most maids are just the Michael stage of geisha, the sort of in-training stage where they're learning to entertain, learning to, you know, put on the performance. And you don't see a lot of the more mature side in maid cafe stuff, the geisha side of things, where they're real masters of their craft, you know, from everything from the conversation craft to the performance craft to the just being an entertainer in general. It's like they kind of cut that side out and just said Michael only. Which unfortunately is becoming more common in the geisha sphere as well. And you can see why, right? It's a lot more in line with how modern culture works. A lot more fast-paced, get your foot in the door, low commitment sort of stuff. But it does lose something, right? It loses that sense of mastery in a way, which would be nice to have. Well, maybe there are some maid cafes that will specialize in that sort of thing in the present or in the future. I don't know, but yeah. But there's clearly similarities. I mean, both Michael and maid cafe maids are expected to dance, sometimes sing, play games, chat, serve tea. There's a lot similar. The other thing is that geisha and Michael parties tend to be more private. Like you have your party and then you book some Michael and geisha to be entertainers at the party, is usually how that used to work. Whereas maid cafes are a lot more public in a way, because they're following they've adopted sort of the Western restaurant/cafe vibe. So rather than booking the Michael and geisha, you instead you go to the establishment and sit in this public space and have the maids come to you just without being assigned, I guess. Though sometimes you can request. It's a very different structure business-wise. Alright, I gotta... Where was I? We may need a whole lecture on geisha. Oh man, don't tempt me, Shatter, don't tempt me. Maybe do tempt me. You know how we had a whole stream about yukata where Monkey got so sidetracked? I didn't cover half of what I was hoping to cover, but it was a lot of fun. I might do more of those if I get the chance. Maybe I should do one like that for Geisha and Michael too, huh? I really do like this topic. I find it really interesting. And the sort of thing that I was alluding to before, that I would really like to do, I really, really, really want to give it a try. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I want to give it a try. It's something actually related to this whole tradition. How I was talking about, you know, the Geiko Maiko tradition and how it's similar but different to Maid Cafe, right? I feel like streaming like I am right now makes me think a little bit of Maid Cafe. It always feels a little bit like Maid Cafe to me. And so, one thing I kind of want to try is something that's a little bit more Maiko feeling, you know? And I know that doesn't probably mean much with how little I've explained right now. But sort of, when I was talking about this idea of private tea parties, right? Something like that, where it's a little bit more intimate. I like how intimate our streams are already, and that's part of the Maid Cafe feeling too, right? Maid Cafe is also intimate. But like even more. Like say Monkey and then 1 to 3 other people. And just sort of having a private sort of stream tea party like that on a very, very small scale, right? Where there's less of a chance Monkey is going to get like 3 hours behind chat. And instead we can just chat, maybe play games, maybe Monkey can help entertain by... I don't sing very well, but I could sing some songs. Maybe even do requests if you have requests that Monkey knows the song of. You know, that kind of thing. Sort of that kind of atmosphere. And maybe we could have tea together. Bring your own tea, obviously, but... And I feel like in a small format like that, it's even possible to do like, voice chat or video chat if people were open to it, rather than text chat. I don't know what people would be interested in, but this was kind of the feeling I got. Not to replace streams. I want to make that clear. It's not to replace streams, because I love this Maid Cafe feeling format as well. It makes Monkey really happy to chat with all of you in this big, chaotic way. But to be able to do it in small groups occasionally as well just seems really nice. I don't know. I don't know if you guys think so. But it's something I thought I might want to try. It's been something that's been on my mind for a while. Let's see. I've heard about that. It's sad since it really is a beautiful tradition. Yeah. Well, the thing about geisha is that I think the reason they're starting to fall out of fashion is kind of complicated. It's complicated, and some of it has to do with the change in the way that geisha see themselves and how their culture has evolved. And some of it just has to do with unfortunate history things. Because the fall of geisha only really happened around wartime, when Japan was having a really hard time and nobody had excess money. And so the entirety of the entertainment district, in fact, went into a really low time. Basically, the entire entertainment district, more or less, had to go into shambles because there was no money. Nobody had any money to spend there. And so geisha had a really, really hard time. That was a big blow to the industry. A lot of geisha quit. A lot of the geisha who didn't quit had to live really, really difficult lives to get through it. And that was a big blow. And then after the war, when the entertainment district started to be able to spring back because money started flowing again, the geisha culture had to rebuild itself, right? The people who hung on had to suddenly either grab back some people who had left or train up a whole new generation. And that kind of coincided with an unfortunate sort of mental shift in the culture of geisha, where geisha used to be the pinnacle of high fashion, and like I said, they had to be up to date with like current events and things like that. They were always the most knowledgeable and the most fashionable people around, really. That was kind of their thing. You just looked to them as the leaders of culture and fashion, really. But after the war, because of all of the changes and things going on, the way Japanese culture had been moving at a breakneck speed to try to evolve, to adopt new things and also hang on to old things, somehow geisha became one of those things where, rather than being the most progressive people, they became the guardians of traditional culture. This wasn't true up until around that time. There were plenty of geisha who were trying to adapt to the new like fast-paced cultures. They were trying out Western accessories, Western clothing. They tried out trying to do some sort of wine ceremony instead of tea ceremony. They were really on the cutting edge. But after this, I think maybe partially because it was such a hard time for them to have to build everything back up, they decided to double down on traditional culture and say, we're no longer going to be the most progressive. What we really need right now is something stable. And so they doubled down on traditional culture. But a lot of those aspects of traditional culture started getting left behind in all of the new reforms and changes that people were trying to adopt, including things like kimono, right? Geisha nowadays, they all still wear kimono, even though they were trying other outfits before. And in some ways, this is one of the few ways that kimono were preserved, even though it's no longer considered like common everyday clothes. But for Geisha and Michael, they're expected to still wear kimono as everyday clothes, including casual kimono when they're not working. And so, in some ways, it makes sense that Japan, there are a few bastions here and there where Japan has tried really hard to make sure that all of this changing culture doesn't mean that their own culture gets completely lost. And modern day, people are starting to realize... Oh, swinging in the jungle hype. People are starting to realize the value of all of that as it's starting to fade away, and lots of artisans and incredible traditional art styles and stuff are starting to be lost. People are starting to rekindle their interest in their own culture. And so it's really good that it wasn't completely swept away. That there's still some remnant of it left. That if people take hold of it now, if people really follow this urge to rekindle some of that old culture, there's enough of it still there that there's still a chance, you know? It's like... it's like endangered species, but culture-wise. It's like the species is almost on the brink of extinction, but there's still hope, you know? If we put in some sincere conservation effort now, a lot of it will come back, I think, in a new way. Not necessarily in the old way, but in a new, progressive way, perhaps. Like how Monkey is really into kimono fashion, right? Monkey doesn't think that fashion should be something that requires the old rules, but that knowing the old rules is what allows you to make new innovations in the fashion, right? But kimono was just almost completely gone for a whole generation. And so we gotta remember what it was like before we can move it forward again. And so it's kind of like that, I think, with Michael and Geisha. Is that they held on to that tradition, and so they actually changed their own tradition by going from being progressive to the guardians of tradition. But in some ways it was something that was really helpful. And maybe if that culture rekindles itself, then we can start to progress from there and have something that once again mixes the local traditions with the modern traditions, you know? That's Monkey's hope. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I may have talked a little bit too much about that now. Oh dear. I do like the geisha outfit and aesthetics. Oh, wish it was more popular. Not enough art or figures has it. Yeah. In fact, actually, you will see little bits here and there in modern fashion that pull from that aesthetic. Because the geisha aesthetic, because it used to be progressive, right? Was actually the like high fashion of Edo period is more or less what modern geisha fashion is emulating. And since that was popular fashion at the time, a lot of Japanese modern fashion you see will still pull bits and pieces from that kind of fashion, which I find really cool once you learn more about it. So for example, some street fashions like shironuri I think is really cool. Shironuri is basically just... what? I don't know how you say it. It sounds bad if I say like whiteface. But it uses that traditional whitening powder as part of your makeup. As like a way to make it really striking. And you will sometimes see characters with really striking red-ish looking eyeliner on their eyes. I'm trying to think of a good example right now. I think 02 might have it from what was that one called? I forget. 02, the one with pink hair and horns. I think she has it. You see a lot of sort of Oni types having it, maybe. Because that used to be very popular back in the day. So it's almost sort of a traditional look when they have... I really like that, by the way. Monkey really likes that style of makeup. It looks really cool. The sort of red eyeliner. That was popular in the Edo period and therefore has carried forward into geisha style. The hairstyles of the Edo period still affect Japanese hairstyles today. You might see a lot of anime characters with their bangs kind of tied back or pinned back on their head. So it makes a little bit of like a poof on the front. Reminds you a little bit of a pompadour maybe. But it's just their bangs being clipped back. That is the traditional mayagami. The traditional bangs of a lot of hairstyles in that time period. A lot of hairstyles in that time period had the same sort of parts. There's the bun part, the mage, and then there's the back part and the side part and the front part. They more or less call them just like that. And you can see if you analyze the hairstyles, they all have these particular parts. And sometimes you can still see that coming into play. One of the buns that I really like that Michael-chan tend to have, if you look at what is now called a sock bun, I hadn't known this, but my guess, because of the similarity, my guess is that the sock bun actually comes from Japanese hairstyles. Because that sort of round donut shape was very common. It was very cute, and it's now one of the iconic hairstyles of Michael. That sort of donut bun is very cute. And that's what a sock bun looks like. So I think there's probably some I'm pretty sure that the sock bun comes from Japan, though I could be completely wrong. But you do see remnants of the fashion in everyday, nowadays, modern day stuff. Japanese silhouette, fashion silhouette, still kind of pulls from kimono tradition sometimes. You can notice the sort of like straight silhouette, sometimes with a flare at the bottom, but mostly very long box shape. I don't know how to explain. Sort of ruler shaped, maybe with a flare at the bottom. It's very close to kimono aesthetic. In fact, in the 20s or so, the whole flapper era, where they brought over things like, what do they call it? Art Deco from Japan. Art Deco is like a Western take on Japanese traditional aesthetic. Around that whole era, You get things like the flappers in the 20s, right? And they're very straight silhouette. That comes from Japanese kimono as well. So there's pieces. There's pieces that I think can be worked back in together into like beautiful, almost Taisho-esque mixed outfits, and also more traditional outfits, and all sorts of things. It's just a lot of fun. Oh boy, monkey talking fashion again. Welcome back again. Oh dear. Oh, here we are. Okay. Let me see. Oh my. Oh, we're getting. Oh boy. I was like, why does it look like I'm starting to catch up even though I've talked so much? Are y'all being nice to Monkey so that I can catch up before the end of stream? Stream is coming to a close. We are going to go a little overtime. I have a little bit of time, so I'm gonna go overtime so I can catch up with you before I have to say goodbye. But yeah, I just saw the time, and I better stop rambling so much. Maybe we will have a geisha stream sometime. All the other characters agreed to lie about the big alien squid thing, though. Shh, no spoilers. I'm not even gonna talk about what that's in reference to. No spoilers. I find it really interesting, though. Maybe we should have a Watchmen stream with big ol' spoiler warning, and then we can talk about the Watchmen. Sorry, I just said what it's from. Don't worry. Monkey said nothing. Hello. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving on. Uh-oh. Yay. Hello, Van Builds. Welcome. I'm sorry, I'm so behind. I'm only saying hi to you now, as I'm gonna have to try to get to the present and wrap up the stream. But hello, welcome. MM is Miracle Man. Oh, I see. I could tell you about the dragon I met, but it's a long story, lol. Remind me about it later, Shatter. Let's talk about it later. I wanna hear. I wanna know. But obviously not this stream. We don't have much time left. Maybe next stream or something. Imagine a big skull with a hole where the eyes are meant to be. I think that's why they thought that. Oh, I mean, mammoth skulls do kind of have that ridge, right? If I remember correctly. Kind of like a lot of cyclopses have that ridge. At Saturn, did you spend a lot of time on that joke? Did you spend a lot of time? Oh, it's a long story, like a long dragon. I get it. Miracle Man is in color. It's rough. Oh, I see. Okay. Then I might check it out, but the forewarning is helpful, because I might have to stop. I will check it out, but with the expectation that I might not be able to read it. I meant a single hole where the eyes are meant to be. Yeah, I gotcha. We do that all the time here, though. What do we do a lot here? Oh no. Monkey is lost again. Tea drinking games? Well, that's a good one. I'd be down for that. Yeah, if you just replace the alcohol with tea. Monkey is down. That sounds great. I like that. As much as I love the idea of maid cafes, I'm not too sure what it's actually like IRL. I've really only watched Cafe Style. That's the one with the S's, right? That's pretty good. You know, this is gonna sound a little weird. Monkey has definitely served at a maid cafe more than I have been served at a maid cafe, if that makes sense. I've only been to a maid cafe as a customer maybe once, whereas I've served at a maid cafe, I guess, for much longer than that. So it's a little hard to say. I definitely personally prefer to be on the maid side of things, I think. I used to think I might enjoy being a customer, but I think I prefer being a maid the most, honestly. Being a customer... it's alright, it's nice, but it's not Monkey's thing, which is a funny thing, isn't it? I guess it's kind of like how Monkey likes being a streamer, but I don't actually watch a lot of streams, and I feel like that makes me a bad streamer and a bad maid. But it kind of makes sense. Some people like to be on one side of things, and some people like to be on the other. And so... it's hard for me to say exactly what being a customer at a maid cafe is like. I definitely think it's for some people and not for others. And definitely at the aesthetic, you have to like the aesthetic. But, I think... well, I obviously think it's worth a try if you like maid cafes. If you like the idea of maid cafes, to give it a chance and see what it's like and see if it's your thing. But even if you like the concept of maid cafes like Monkey does, you might find that you're not so into actually being a customer there. So I would say just go at it with an open mind and see if you like it. And it also depends a lot on the particular maid cafe, because they'll all have slightly different how you say? They'll have slightly different vibe, right? There's an overarching sort of vibe, but they're all slightly different. Like the maid cafe that Monkey worked at, we were trying very much to cater to a Western audience, and so we tried to create a certain vibe that is reminiscent of and strongly harkens to the Japanese maid cafe experience, but is slightly tailored towards a more Western audience, and also an audience who might not be that into otaku culture, actually. Like, not that they would be completely unfamiliar with it, but that they're not necessarily all in on the moe moe kyun sort of thing. And yeah. And so, I haven't worked at a full-on moe moe kyun style maid cafe. I think I might like that as well. But, I don't know. There's just a lot. So even if you don't like a particular maid cafe, I feel also, if you get the feeling like, oh, I didn't vibe with this one, but I could see that there might be one out there that I do vibe with. That's another thing, right? It's that kind of thing. And if you don't like the maid aesthetic in general, there's cosplay cafes and other types of theme cafes out there. But yeah, I don't know much about those. Y'all heard her. Tempt the monkey! Wait, that's not what I said! Oh dear, oh dear. Maybe though, maybe. Ah! You have reached the present time! Ah! And with that, I must go to sleep. Good night, monkey and all. Well, I reached the present time of the past, but sorry if I missed you, Mongoose, but I hope you have a good night. Sleep well. Thanks so much for coming. It was great to talk with you. Having tea inside a closet intimate. Well, maybe like a walk-in closet. That wouldn't be so bad. Actually, that sounds kind of nice. A big comfy closet. Not gonna lie, Monkey doesn't have much claustrophobia. I tend to like kind of cozy, cramped places. I know that was a joke, Best Squid, but you're giving Monkey ideas. In some ways, a lot of tea rooms for like traditional Japanese tea ceremony are closet-like. Some are as small as less than 2 tatami mats. How would I explain that? 2 tatami mats are about... How big is a tatami mat? Imagine like a decently sized desk. Like not a small desk, but not a big desk. Like a relatively average sized rectangular desk. That's about the size of 1 tatami, I guess. Yeah, about that size. like an IKEA desk. That's what Monkey has, so that's my rate of comparison right now. Yeah, that's about one tatami. So 2 of those side by side, and then you do your tea ceremony on top of those 2 desks. Sometimes it's that cozy, you know? Monkey likes that kind of thing. Membership stream ideas. You know, Fuari, if Monkey ever gets memberships, we might do something like that. Because if Monkey gets so big that it's difficult to have streams like we have today, where Monkey can just chat with all of you, I would still want to be able to do that. And so maybe something like a membership stream would be good for that. But yeah, I think, as it is right now, I think we're very lucky that we can have what feels almost like a membership stream, but it's completely public, right? I like that. In some ways, I would feel bad if only paying members were able to have this experience with Monkey. I don't know what I would do about that. I'd have to figure it out. But that's a problem for future Monkey that may never happen, so... Private tea party hype. You like the idea, Shatter? I hope it's kind of appealing to people. I think it would be very cozy. And some of the details I need to work out are, first of all, how would we do it, right? We could probably do YouTube, or we could do Discord, or maybe even Zoom if people are comfortable with that. But also, like, how would we select who's tea parties, right? Like, there's always the obvious answer of, oh, we'll do it on a commission basis, right? That's how geisha do it. They do it on a commission basis. And I think that is reasonable. However, I would also like to be accessible because I know a lot of my audience, you're not here because you necessarily are rich, you know? The thing about geisha culture is that it existed specifically to cater to, you know, rich people, because those are the people who can pay for that kind of entertainment. And while Monkey thinks that's totally fair because they're providing a service that is worth money, right? You know, they're providing a real valuable service. I also feel like, personally, I like being able to do this kind of thing for people who might not otherwise be able to throw down too much cash, right? And so I kind of was thinking about, what if we could do some sort of hybrid system where, like, yes, Monkey will take some commissions, but also Monkey might take some, like, how do you say, like a raffle drawing? Like, put out a raffle drawing? We could even do, say, sort of a charity thing? That's a weird way of putting it. Monkey is not a charity, but I was thinking, like, as a community, I like the idea of... Maybe this is gonna sound a little communist, I apologize. But I like the idea of, like, oh, the community pitches in and then purchases a tea party that then gets raffled off. I don't know. These are strange ideas. I don't even know if I'll gate it behind money to begin with. Monkey doesn't have a lot of extra time, which is why the money aspect still comes into play in terms of making it something Monkey can justify, in terms of having to scrape out some of Monkey's time to schedule these things. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. And yeah, well, I'll think about it. If people might be interested. Oh wow, you like the idea, Huari? I wonder. Made Monkey midday meal. Nice, coming in with the alliteration again, Remus. Made Monkey midday meal. Oh, I like it. Like on Discord or random VC stream. I think it could be either like a private YouTube stream if people want to do the classic sort of Monkey is streaming, and the tea party guests, if you will, are using the text chat. if that's what people are comfortable with or would prefer, Monkey can do it that way. But yeah, or Discord or VC or something like that. Maybe it would be depending on who Monkey is throwing the party for. Or that sort of thing. What they feel like, what they prefer. A wine ceremony? Oops. I hadn't heard of anything like that. Yeah, it was very innovative. It didn't really catch on per se, but they were trying to see what they could do to bring the new modern hip stuff into the tea room, basically. The way it used to work. I won't get into this too much because we are a little over time and I'm at risk of talking too much about geisha again. But the way it used to work was actually, and it's still how it does now work actually. The way it works for geisha specifically, unlike a maid cafe, the geisha have a partnership with what are called tea houses. A tea house is more like a traditional Japanese restaurant. Japanese restaurants run a bit differently from Western restaurants. They tended to have these private rooms for the tea. Some of these fancy tea houses, they'd have the private rooms that you would book. Kind of like, well, I don't know actually what a good comparison is. But you would book a room at a tea house, and they're called tea houses, but they also serve food. And so you would book a room, and then through the tea house, who has connections to the geisha, you would ask them to book you some geisha or some maiko with your request of like, oh, 2 maiko, 1 geisha, or something like that. Or if you have requests for a particular maiko or geisha, you put that in. And the tea house will help you coordinate with the maiko and geisha, who are a different business but work very closely with the tea houses. And then on the day of your party, or on the night of your party, you just go to the tea house. The tea house will show you to your room, and the maiko and the geisha will show up to entertain. So it was... Monkey's getting off topic, aren't I? You were just asking about the wine ceremony. But basically, it was at these establishments then that they would give people tea and stuff. And so they tried being like, okay, well, in addition to traditional Japanese food, what if we bring in fancy Western food like wine and make that a part of the whole thing and serving wine to people? Because traditionally you serve tea, and actually they're called tea houses, but traditionally you serve a lot of sake. Nihonshu. Japanese alcohol. So yeah, they tried playing around with that too. That's so interesting. Oh, I'm glad you think so, Huari. Swinging in the jungle hype. Yeah. Oh yes, the powdered face. Yeah, of course. It's cool, right? Monkey's always really wanted to play around with that. But where I am right now, it's really hard to get the makeup. But I really like the aesthetic and some of the cool things they're doing with it these days. They look like incredible dolls. Okay, I should stop. I was going to start talking about some of the looks that I really enjoyed. Like they look like dryads. It's really cool. But we won't go into that. Someday Monkey will catch up. Someday my monkey will come. Someday we'll meet again. Someday. I will try my best. We're getting there. If she doesn't catch up, the stream will never end. Uh-oh. That's dangerous, Remus. I'll catch up. I was going to ask if we should be concerned about time. Thank you, Shatter. I appreciate that. I don't have a lot of time left, so I appreciate that. It seems like y'all are helping me get to the point where we can wrap up. I do appreciate that. But I do have a little bit, which is good because we're already over time. Maid now. That's me. Well, I'm not currently actively employed as a maid. I've considered going back, but the timing has never really worked out for me in my current schedule to be able to go back. So, but hopefully, maybe someday. I don't know. Well, interesting. Hola. Oh, hello, Wolf. Welcome, welcome. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wrap up soon. But thank you for dropping by. Hello there. Hello, Violet. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Tianshi Club, both of you. Hopefully you'll be able to catch us next time. I usually start streaming... well, I started streaming today about 3 hours ago. I usually start around that time. The present past. The present past. The future past. The past future? Sounds pretty cozy. Intimate, one could say. Intimate! Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, but that's the idea, I guess. I hope. I like cozy, you know? I'm a monkey who really likes cozy, so... I thought it might be nice. Not an if, a when now gets that. Believe. Maybe in 100 years. But thank you, Shadow, thank you. Oh, calling us poor? No. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Not poor so much as... Not poor so much as, you know, not everyone has a lot of free change sitting around. Monkey certainly doesn't. I certainly don't have a lot of free change sitting around. That is part of the reason why I might want to make some money off of these private tea parties. So Monkey has some pocket change every once in a while. So that's why I understand, you know? I understand not everyone has pocket money to throw at VTubers. Because Monkey doesn't have any pocket money to throw at VTubers. Our Monkey. Oh. I get it. I get that meme. Wow, aren't you proud of Monkey? Geishas are cute. Well, Michaels are cute. Geishas are supposed to be elegant, but sometimes they are also still cute. You should do a drawing stream, and if you can't get the makeup and stuff. That's true, that's true. Just play around with the fashion even if I can't have it to myself. That makes sense, that makes sense. Am I in the present? Have I reached the present? Oh, thank you so much, everybody. Oh, what an accomplishment. Now understood a meme. Character progression at work before our eyes. What do you know? Every once in a while, Monkey understands a meme now. The present. Oh, thank you, Shadow. Thank you. Oh man, it is bittersweet though, because upon reaching the present, it also means that we have probably reached the end of stream, huh? It probably means, it definitely means that Monkey ought to sign off now. But I'm so glad I got to the present, because I hate feeling like... I would hate leaving feeling like I didn't get to, you know, respond to everything that everyone said. I don't know, I like responding to all of you. It's fun, it's nice. I hope you like it. Present now and present chat meet again. Hello, present cuckoo. Present now must unfortunately become a permanent past now. Oh, that's so sad, Pilates. It's sad, but true. It's sad, but true. And a little poetic. Not in a morbid way. Let's hope not, huh? Let's hope not. We probably shouldn't keep you then, though. Oh, thank you, Chatter. Thank you for the stream now. Always a pleasure to chat with you. Hashtag love Tianshi. Thank you, Chatter. I had so much fun chatting with all of you. Thank you so much. Future Monkey's gonna love this. It's true, it's true. Oh, let's do more just chatting streams in the future. I don't know why I haven't been doing as many recently. Let's do more if you guys are up for it. If I don't talk you guys out of if I don't bore you all with all of my chatting. Let's do more. Yes, thank you for today's stream now. Hashtag #PUBG. Oh dear. Thank you, Lottie. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you very much for today's stream now. Thank you, Cuckoo. Thank you for coming. It's always a pleasure to have you. Thanks for the stream. Bye-bye now. See you next time. Sounds good, Best Squid. I'll see you next time. Thank you, thank you. For us? Never. Oh, Shatter. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh. Yeah, you're all great. You're all so great. Alright, I better go. But thank you so much. I had a lot of fun. I hope to see you all next time. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, bye-bye, Best Squid. Bye-bye, Chito. Bye-bye, Huari. Bye-bye. Club meeting adjourned. You're right! I didn't say it! And with this meeting of the Tianshi Club is now officially adjourned. It was almost dangerous right there. What would have happened if I left the meeting without adjourning it? Anything could have happened. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the reminder, Huari. A tear in the universe. I'm a lurker today. I noticed, Chito, but we stand our lurkers here. I hope you had a good time. And thank you for the hugs. Lurker mod. Lurker mod, Chito. Some say the meeting would still be going to this day. It's true. Could happen. The monkey paradox. The true monkey 24-hour stream. Oh dear. Except without monkey. I wonder what would happen. Oh dear. Okay, sorry. Here I go saying goodbye and making you all the false start, the false end. Okay, for real this time. Thank you all so much, everyone. This was a blast. I had a blast. I hope you did too. Okay. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.